All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Let me know where you guys are watching from.
All right,
All
welcome
right.
back.
So
All
this
right,
is what we're
welcome
gonna
back.
do.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Pardon me, guys. I'm still figuring this out.
Let me know where you guys are watching from.
I'm still trying to figure out the Zoom to YouTube live streaming. So I'm just trying to figure out. All right. So today's title, Maduro pleads not guilty, asserting innocence in first U.S. court appearance. Man, unless you live under a rock, you know what's going on, man. This is a hot topic. The whole world is talking about this. US Maduro being captured by American forces. This is of particular interest to me, guys. You know why? Because I'm a former US military soldier. Before we get into it, I'm going to pull up the article on the Wall Street Journal and we're going to look at it together. Let's break down. It's 12:21 right now in Las Vegas. What time is it in New York? New York is 3 hours ahead of us. So it's about 3:31. I think he's probably out of the courtroom right now being escorted to a black site. They're not gonna put Maduro with the general population. They're not gonna put him up with Gen Pop. It's probably off all a CIA black site somewhere. Or a safe house. I don't think they have black sites in the United States. So he's probably going to a safe house, probably going to be locked up somewhere highly secured. First day appearing in US court in New York City. Dust is settled, 3:30. I'm pretty sure everyone is gone home for the day. So from the point of view, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, of an ex, see, they always say once a soldier, always a soldier. You know what I mean? Man, what the United States military did on Saturday, January 3rd, 2026, was nothing short of poetry. Just remove the violence aspect, just the guts, the will of the US military. It's a military that I know very well. I was talking about it when it happened with someone, to a colleague of mine. We're both, to a colleague about it. And we were just saying, man, they pulled it off. For you to remove a leader of a country in 3 hours without much resistance, just nothing short of just brilliance. Brilliant, rather. You know, they say innocent until proven guilty. Innocent until proven guilty. So I'm going to pull up the Wall Street Journal article right now. I'm going to share my screen with you. You see, that is why I'm starting to enjoy the live stream because prior to moving on to Zoom, I was unable to share my screen with you guys for many, many months, but now I can. So I want you guys to see what I see. Okay, I'm gonna pull up my screen right now. So we can go through this article together, talk about it. Let me know what you guys think. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. I'll break it down together. So this is on the Wall Street Journal. Title of the article: Maduro declares his innocence in first U.S. court appearance. So this article is written by Corinne Rami and James Fanelli of the Wall Street Journal, updated January 5th, 2026, 2:49 p.m. Eastern. So just right below the headline, prosecutors allege Maduro, his wife, and others conspired to import cocaine to the U.S. for 25 years. I thought this was only a 10-year thing. 25 years. Here's one thing you got to know about the United States government. They don't just file charges for the sake of it. There is proof somewhere. They have evidence. For them to be able to date back to 25 years, if it's true that this guy has been trafficking cocaine for 25 years, could you imagine how many tons of cocaine that is, if it's actually true? Let's scroll down and look at that hand sketch portrait of Maduro, flanked by his lawyer in the middle, his wife standing next to him. Two lawyers right there. Celia Flores is her name. She also pled not guilty, by the way, guys. So they're flanked by the defense attorneys. If you're wondering who the defense attorneys are, they represented Julian Assange. You guys remember him from the Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, which I think she was like the Secretary of State during the Barack Obama presidency for 8 years. So he's the guy behind that's defending Maduro and his wife, Celia. So let's read this. Ousted Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro pleaded not guilty to narco trafficking charges during his arraignment in U.S. federal court Monday, defiantly telling a judge that he was still the head of his nation, despite being whisked away by U.S. forces over the weekend. I don't think Nicolas Maduro understands what's happening right now. But then again, if you have been leading a nation, and this is his third term, I don't think overnight, within 2 days, you won't see yourself as the president. You see, in his mind, he's still the president. But in reality, he is no longer the president of uh, Venezuela. But he can say whatever he wants. I mean, listen, if he wants to claim the president, if you believe he's still the president of Venezuela, he's in a free country. He's in his right to say so. But it doesn't make him the president of Venezuela. Maduro said, I am innocent. I'm not guilty. I'm a decent man. I am still the president of my country, he said through a Spanish interpreter, adding that he was a prisoner of war and had been kidnapped from his home in Caracas. The man said he didn't do it. He didn't do it. It wasn't him. You got the wrong man, is what Maduro is saying. He can't be me. It's impossible. I've been leading the country of Venezuela. I'm a decent man. I'm a law-abiding citizen. You see, that is what Maduro wants the world to believe. And the United States is saying, we got the proof. Do you think we're gonna spend months after months chasing after you, years chasing after you? Every single intelligence agencies that the United States has after you. This is Osama bin Laden, Saddam Hussein level case because we just want to uh, 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 for no reason. It's Trump. I mean, Maduro. No, it's not me, man. You know, Trump. Trump's got an axe to grind. He's got a personal vendetta against me because I won't bow down and kiss the ring. Remember, he stood there on a podium telling the world, come get me, you imperialist. Get those imperialist ships out of here. Like a pastor on the pulpit. He wanted to bind. Oh, man. He wanted to bind and cast away the United States government. How dare the US? How dare the greatest military in the world? Look, man, 3 hours? Come on. That's all it took. I was just laying in bed with my wife, minding my own business in the comfort of my own home, and I was kidnapped by US forces. That is what Maduro told the judge. He said he was a prisoner of war. You're not a prisoner of war. The US has not declared war on Venezuela. So you can't be a prisoner of war. It doesn't work like that. There has to be a declaration of war. And when combatants are captured upon a declaration of war, only then can you be considered a POW. In this case, Mr. Maduro, you are not a POW. You are a prisoner accused, indicted on allegedly trafficking cocaine into the United States for the past 20 years. You got your day in court. You did what you were supposed to do. No one expected Maduro to plead guilty today. It's usually the process. You got to go in on the first day when you see the judge. I'm not guilty. I didn't do it. My brother did it. You got the wrong man. It's impossible. It can't be me. And then come March 17th, that's when it's due back in court again, the discovery. So the United States government is going to come and say, this is what we've got on you for 25 years. Now say you what? There are people right now lining around the block to testify against Nicolas Maduro and his wife. Doesn't he realize that? Even if he were to plead guilty, I mean, look, the man is not going to be acquitted. This is El Chapo level indictment. El Chapo level. You know where El Chapo is today? He's in ADX Florence in Colorado. Locked up 24 hours a day. No, maybe 23 hours a day on lockdown. Then he gets an hour a day to exercise and stretch. That is where El Chapo is. That is where El Chapo will be for the rest of his life. This is an El Chapo level indictment, if not worse. Monday's hearing kicked off a nearly unprecedented legal battle over a foreign leader in U.S. court. Like I said, I've never seen anything like this. Closest thing is Noriega, Manuel Noriega in Panama. Closest thing. The arrest of a head of state presents challenges for both prosecutors and the defense. And the two sides could spend years sparring over the legality of Maduro's arrest and charges before he goes to trial. That is fine. That's okay. That's fine and dandy. It's not as if Maduro's just going to go home while the prosecutors and the defense attorneys are duking out the legality of his quote unquote kidnapping. It's not as if he's going home. I think, I don't even think Maduro spends the night in on US soil. I think he's probably going to go to Guantanamo Bay in Cuba. That's where he's going to be for the next 2.5 months. He's just might. I mean, who knows? Maduro, who ruled his country for more than a decade from his palace, shuffled into court on Monday in shackles and a navy blue jail shirt and khaki pants before being seated next to his lawyer. He shook hands with those around him and wished people in the packed courtroom a happy new year. Yeah, really? You see, he still thinks he's in control. You see, when you start drinking your own Kool-Aid, the man still thinks he's in control. When Maduro continued to argue, oh, he was arguing. Okay, okay, okay. Kind of reminds me of the Nnamdi Kanu thing, right? When Maduro continued to argue in court that he was wrongfully apprehended, the judge gently interjected, telling him that there would be a time and place to make those arguments. You see, wasn't Saddam also defiant? I mean, you kind of expect something like that, right? Head of state of a country for the past 10 years, always in the position of control, even when he was under Hugo Chavez. So you kind of expected that. Saddam was defiant. He was loud. He was bombastic. How dare you question me? This courtroom is beneath. Don't you see that? I shouldn't be here. That's what Maduro's thinking. Let's move on. Maduro's wife, Celia Flores, sat at the same defense table, showing what her lawyers said were visible signs of injuries sustained during her capture. Okay. I mean, I'm kind of sure they roughed her up a little bit. They probably roughed Maduro up too. According to Donald Trump, he was trying to hide in some sort of a panic room. Okay, so they roughed you up. Sorry. The Maduros face charges including cocaine importation, conspiracy, and possession of machine guns. The two defendants are being detained at a Brooklyn federal. Oh, okay, so they're in Brooklyn. I'm thinking that they probably flew them out to Guantanamo or something. I'm gonna see how. Well, maybe they'll keep them in stateside so they can be close to their attorneys. Their lawyers said that neither were seeking bail, but may do so in the future. Maduro is not going to be granted bail under any circumstances imaginable. He's considered a flight risk. He has the resources to be able to plan and escape. So I don't see a U.S. federal judge granting Maduro bail. So the U.S. captured Maduro and his wife early Saturday during a dramatic military operation that ended with the ousted president aboard a U.S. warship USS Iwo Jima. Maduro's lawyer, Barry Pollock, told the judge that before trial, he planned to make arguments about the legality of Maduro's abduction and his immunity as a head of state. Was he abducted or was he arrested? I mean, that's a task force. I think I don't know about adoption. I mean, abduction. He was arrested to face justice per the United States of America, per Donald Trump, per Pam Bondi, Hesgeth, Marco Rubio. Immunity. What immunity? Are heads of states immune from being prosecuted for drug trafficking? Maybe the machine gun parts. Okay. If he's the head of state, he can own machine guns. But when you start exporting cocaine, I mean, okay, so the machine guns, we still don't know. Was it trafficking arms? The closest comparable case to Maduro's involves drug trafficking charges brought, I told you now, Manuel Noriega, the former Panamanian strongman whom the US captured after invading the country in 1989. Manuel Noriega was convicted in a Miami federal court and sentenced to 40 years in prison. I'm telling you guys, I don't think Maduro gets less than 30. He had tried to assert head of state immunity, saying the charges were unlawful. However, a federal appellate court shut down the argument, siding with prosecutors who said the US hadn't recognized him as a legitimate head of Panama. Remember, it's the same thing. Maduro has never been recognized as the legitimate head of Venezuela. Not by the US, not by most EU countries who are allied with the United States, maybe with the exception of like maybe China, Russia, Iran. But most of the Western world hadn't recognized Maduro as the legitimate head of state of Venezuela. So he was running an illegitimate regime. Therefore, that makes him just a regular citizen like you and me. So he doesn't get head of state immunity or diplomatic immunity. He doesn't get that benefit because he wasn't, according to the US and EU, the legitimate president of Venezuela. I would expect prosecutors to make similar arguments here, said former Federal Prosecutor R.D. McConnell, he added that courts have ruled in previous cases that criminal conduct like drug trafficking does not fall under official acts of a government leader. U.S. prosecutors had previously charged Maduro in 2020 and by 2025 offered a reward of up to $50 million for information leading to his arrest. Wasn't that isn't that more than or wasn't? Because that money is off the table now. I don't think anyone's going to claim that money because the United States conducted this apprehension mission on their own. So according to Donald Trump and Marco Rubio, the US government gets to keep the 50 million. Wasn't what's his name? UBL or Osama bin Laden, wasn't he a $25 million bounty on his head? Do you guys remember what Saddam was? 50 mil. The US does not recognize him as Venezuela's legitimate president. The new indictment unveiled Saturday just hours after the incursion into Venezuela. It's interesting how they're using the word incursion and not invasion. Interesting. Accuses Maduro, Flores, and four other defendants with a 25-year conspiracy involving partnering with violent drug traffickers to distribute tons of cocaine to the US. I don't think Celia Flores is going to testify against her husband, but let me tell you, the other four defendants are going to sing like a bird. We don't know who they are yet. Identities have not been revealed yet. But we all know good and damn well they're going to sing like a canary. They're not going to do 30 years for Maduro or the rest of their lives for Maduro. Remember, Maduro is 63 years old. 30 puts him at 93. Anything more than that is a death sentence. Maduro sits atop a corrupt, illegitimate government that for decades has leveraged government power to protect and promote illegal activity, including drug trafficking, the prosecutors wrote. The indictment alleges that Maduro took specific steps to advance the conspiracy, including selling Venezuela diplomatic passports. Very specific, guys. Specific. To drug traffickers and ordering kidnappings and murders against people he believed owed him drug money. Man, that's serious. A so-called leader of a state can do that. They can issue diplomatic passports to mules. So he's got mules smuggling, allegedly smuggling tons and tons of cocaine from Venezuela into US territory, utilizing mules and giving them diplomatic passports. Because with diplomatic passports, you're not checked, they whisk you through security, off you go. And then he gets violent. The kidnappings and murders against people he believed owed him drug money. This guy, like in St. Nigeria, was a drug pusher. Look at Chelsea Handler's ad, man. Guys, I live in Vegas. Chelsea Handler is in Vegas now until May 30th at the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas, guys. Look at that free promo for Chelsea. Maybe I'll go see her. We just finished Christmas. Everyone is back to work. It's back to business. So there's still time. Maybe Memorial Day, sometime in May, we'll go see Chelsea Handler at the Cosmopolitan in Vegas. Outside the courthouse Monday, police set up barriers along the sidewalk, which were packed with dozens of chanting protesters, including some carrying signs saying, U.S. hands off Venezuela. Police separated some of the protesters from one another. Inside the courtroom, a man stood up after the hearing and shouted to Maduro in Spanish, Soy un prisionero de guerra. Maduro replied, which translates to, I'm a prisoner of war, as court officers escorted the man out of the room. So he's got supporters. I mean, not everybody's against him. He's got supporters. There are people out there saying that he didn't do it. There's no way this man can be a drug trafficker. There's just no way he could be exporting uh, uh, tons and tons of cocaine from Venezuela. That's conduct unbecoming a president of a country. The US is overstepping its boundaries. Trump is overreaching. Trump is a bully, just looking for somebody to pick on. Trump just wants Venezuela oil. That's why he's got his hands on Maduro. Innocent until proven guilty. Remember that. Innocent until proven guilty. Remember that. No matter how you slice this or how you interpret it, the man, we all can have an opinion. We all are entitled to our own opinions. But he is innocent until proven guilty. Wasn't Noriega also innocent until proven guilty? And got 40. Flores also pleaded not guilty. We look forward to reviewing and challenging the evidence the government has. Trust you me. The US government has floor to ceiling evidence. Floor to ceiling evidence. And there's the thing, too, guys. You guys just think that the US Special Forces just went in, snatched them, and left. No, they probably stayed back and took a lot of hard drives, computers, documents, treasure trove of intelligence in that palace. You think he just went and just grabbed him and his wife? They grabbed some things too. That's going to be forensically analyzed. The next hearing has been set for March 17th, 2026, guys. 2.5 months from today, from now. The Justice Department has previously charged former heads of state. In 2024, the Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office obtained a conviction against Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez in a criminal case similar to Maduro's. A federal jury found Hernandez guilty of drug trafficking and weapons conspiracies after prosecutors said he helped to ship more than 500 tons of cocaine into the USA in exchange for millions of dollars in bribes. He's the same guy that Trump pardoned, you know. Unlike Maduro, Hernandez was arrested in his country after leaving office. He was later extradited and detained in the same Brooklyn federal jail where Maduro is being held. FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried and rapper Sean Diddy Combs also spent time at the facility while they awaited trial. President Donald Trump pardoned Hernandez in November after several Trump allies, including Roger Stone, called for the release of the former Central American leader. Around the same time, Trump endorsed a member of Hernandez's conservative party in the presidential race in Honduras. That candidate, Nasri Asfura, was declared the winner in late September. The writers of this article, Corinne Ramey, James Fanelli of the Wall Street Journal. So what do you guys think? Stop sharing the screen. Laja! States, please restrict Rich's movement in the coming days. The way he is salivating over this invasion of Venezuela is concerning. This is the American side of Rich speaking. The Caribbean side of him is disappointed. For where? For where? This story is juicy, Laja. I don't think you understand. You see, I'm looking at this from, honestly, I'm looking at it more from a military lens than anything else. The brilliance of the quote unquote invasion. Now that you want me to bring my Niger side out, you see all those guys in Nigeria, the so-called imams and the clerics talking about they're trying to defy Trump. Hey, hey, stop. Just stop. If you don't have anything positive to say, if you are a government official in Nigeria right now and you don't have anything positive to say about President Donald Trump, I beg you, just don't say anything at all. Underestimate Trump and the US at your peril. Now, do I think that Maduro imported cocaine and committed all these alleged charges that they do I think so? Here's my answer to that. I don't think, Laja, that the United States of America is just going to deploy all those resources to capture a person that they didn't think they can convict in federal court. You see, Maduro could have walked away scot-free. He was given the opportunity to just leave, go relax somewhere in Iran, relax somewhere in freaking Russia. But he wanted to stay and pound his chest against the president of the United States. And Trump said, okay, you are telling me to come and get you. No problem. No problem. You know what, guys? I am going to be covering this story like white on rice. I'm sorry. As a matter of fact, I apologize in advance. Not only am I going to be covering this like white on rice, I'm going to be covering some other topics as well. But man, do you guys think that there will be another? I don't think that there will be another case like this. Possibly not in my lifetime. Laja, do you think Maduro is innocent? What do you think? And for those who are watching, what do you think of the way the military exercise? I don't want to use the I word. I don't want to use invasion because I don't think that's what it was. It was an apprehension mission. It was a military exercise, is what it was. I still can't get that 3 hours out of my head. 3 hours. Congrats to the US military. So the people who conducted this raid and this operation, I think what they said the youngest was 20 and the oldest was 49. I'm 47, going on 48. How many people? Hundreds of people involved in this. I don't think the US would have gone the lengths that they went if they didn't think they had enough to not only convict him, but to also put him away for the rest of his life. It's just my opinion. I could be wrong. It's just my opinion. So that's that, guys. Thank you so much, Laja. I know you think I'm salivating over this. Maybe I am. All right, guys. Hey, I gotta go do some things. My daughter has a what do we do? We registered Jeanette for soccer, indoor soccer starting tomorrow, Tuesday. Yesterday we went out and picked some cleats, some indoor soccer cleats for her, but we did not buy her some shin guards. So I'm gonna go right now and go pick up some shin guards for her. So she's suited and booted and ready for her first practice tomorrow. Indoor soccer, you know. All right, guys. I will catch you guys on the next one. Tune in tomorrow, man. We're doing this every day. Tune in tomorrow for some fresh stories from Bereket Live. US Nigerian markets. We're going to be covering both markets from now on. I'm just not going to limit myself to Nigeria anymore. We're bringing some juicy US news to you from a Nigerian perspective. And then, Nigeria now. We got to bring you some Nigeria content, Nigeria news as well. So stay tuned. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel if you like what I'm talking about, if you like my style and you like my vibes. Visit Mberiket.com. Check us out on Mberiket.com. All right, guys, I will talk to you guys soon. Catch you on the next one. See you later, Laja.